50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in, everyone, to episode 304 of the Dream Wager. Today is September the 9th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, Dylan, and joining me, our NBA guru partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. E, how you doing today, kid?
Yo, boy, feeling real good. Loaded episode for you guys. Full week one coverage, plays, size, props. Still, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Like Elvis said, we got a huge show for you guys. We'll recap Thursday Night Football. Lions get the big win on the road. We got MLB plays, college football slate. I fucking love this slate as well. And then, like Elvis said, all of week one plays up until Sunday Night Football at MetLife Stadium, Giants and Cowboys. But let's recap what happened literally while Thursday Night Football was going on. A record deal in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow reached an agreement with the Cincinnati Bengals on a 5-year, $275 million extension. $219 of it is guaranteed. That makes him the highest paid player in NFL history. He's the fourth quarterback this offseason to sign a record-setting and contract extension. The first one, Jalen Hurts, he signed a 5-year, $255. Lamar reset it 5 years, $260. Then Justin Herbert reset it 5 years, $262. And then Joe Burrow just reset it 5 years and $275 million. I think he deserves it. It was an amazing, he's had an amazing career so far. He's gone to the Super Bowl. He's gone to the AFC Championship. Thoughts on the contract?
Yeah, I think it was well deserved. You know, at the end of the day, we see the trend. You know, the quarterback market keep getting reset. We yet to see somebody surpass Deshaun Watson and guarantee money. I think the next one possibly will do that. You know, we're just at 219. Deshaun got fully guaranteed at 230. But you know, give credit to Joe Burrow, like you said earlier. That he just had a phenomenal career. He had one of the best starts to a career. Besides, I could honestly say Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. You know, he's done everything you could accomplish in the league besides the MVP and the Super Bowl. So I think he's going to be close to getting one of the two real soon, Bill. So I'm just glad that the Cincinnati Bengals took care of him, because it was a lot of speculations like, oh, Cincinnati never pays their players, their superstars over leave, this and that. So glad they got Joe Burrow secure for the next 5 years. Hopefully they could keep that combination with him and Jamar Chase for the next 5 years as well, because they did 3 years in LSU. It will be great to see them for another 5 in Cincinnati.
Yeah, 5-year run. In 2019, he won the national championship and also the Heisman. The next year, he was drafted number 1 overall. Then 2021, he was a comeback player of the year. He reached the Super Bowl. 2022, he reached the AFC Championship. And then this year, he lands the biggest contract in NFL history. What a 5-year run for Joe Burrow. And you're right, Cincinnati has a history of not paying their players. The whole thing going on with T. Higgins, he's going into his final year of his deal. It doesn't look like he's in the plans. And Jamar Chase, he becomes extension eligible next offseason. And I agree. I think you got to keep that connection, but they'd be fools not to pay a guy like Joe Burrow. Do you think they wind up paying the bag to Jamar Chase?
I think they have to, Dale, especially what we see what's going on with T. Higgins. If them and T. Higgins don't get a long-term deal done, you kind of have to be forced to give Jamar Chase his asking price, just because you can't let I'm going to say two top 20 wide receivers walk out the door. I think Jamar Chase is top 10, and I think T. Higgins is a solid 1A wide receiver, definitely one of the best second options in the league. So you can't just let both of them walk out, and maybe you can let T. Higgins walk out, but you can't lose T and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was very interesting, but I'm glad they got the deal done in Cincinnati. But Elvis, let's recap Thursday Night Football. Lions go on the road and spoil the celebration, the ring banner, elevating the championship banner in Arrowhead, 21-20. 7 points were off that perfect pass by Patrick Mahomes. Let's get into that. I thought mostly the Chiefs defense actually played a good game, to be honest. Without Chris Jones, I know Jared Goff, he threw for 253 yards, but other than that, David Montgomery, yeah, he rushed for 74 yards, but they didn't really blow me out offensively, especially without a Chris Jones. I thought defensively they were good. Let's be frank, Kadarius Toney lost them the game for him. 3 drops. And it wasn't like they were bad throws behind him or anything. They hit him right in his hands. Like the pick 6 was literally a perfect ball. And it's just hard to overcome turnovers and shooting yourself in the foot. But before we get into all the depths and the analytic behind the game, what'd you think of the game overall?
I think it was a great game overall. I just, especially in the first half, I think it was a great game. Second half, Dale, it was a defensive battle, especially Detroit. I didn't expect Detroit's defense to be this good this soon. We spoke during the futures in the summertime, even last season, that when they missed the playoffs, the offense wasn't the issue. It was the defense. The defense going to stop a nosebleed, and in the second half, that defense was impressive, Bill. So it was a tale of two halves. I agree with you. Kansas City's defense looked much better than I expected them to look. I expected the Detroit Lions to hang a few more points on them than just 14 offensive points, Bill. But I think the biggest story takeaway is how I understand Kadarius Toney dropped those passes. I understand Travis Kelce's not there. But the fact that he was still able to hold Patrick Mahomes to 21 points says something.
Yeah, 20 points. But yeah, I also think they were a little too cute for my liking. Down in the red zone, short yardage, whenever there was fourth and goal.
They always been that cute. We saw it in the Super Bowl. We saw it in the
but that's when you have. But that's when you have Kelce. That you're taking the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand. Why are you doing that? It doesn't make sense.
No, I understand, but it's not like there's something new. They always been doing this. It's just it didn't work out. I guess they're sniffing out those fake handoffs or whatever, Dill. Maybe they sniffed it out. Maybe the Lions defense is just that good, Dill. We probably got to give credit on that anyway. Because last year, especially in the Super Bowl, they were scoring left and right on those trick plays at the goal line, Dill. So we saw 2 touchdowns from those same plays in the Super Bowl. They just didn't happen to work against the Lions. Give credit to the Lions, Dill. I agree with you. I want to take the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands, but when you see how many drop passes, and you saw Patrick Mahomes, I think he went 3 for 14 in the second half. That connection wasn't there. He couldn't really hit nobody in the second half, Dill. Even with a perfect pass, the receiver drops the ball. Sky Moore is being double coverage. So, Dill, he just couldn't do much in the second half. So I understand why they went to those trick plays, Dill. I don't agree with it, but I understand.
Yeah, I don't think it says much about Patrick Mahomes. I think it says more about his receiving core, if anything. And I would push back and say I don't really think their defense is good, to be honest, the Detroit Lions, because if you look at the game, the only person really applying pressure the whole game was Hutchinson. Other than Hutchinson, they weren't getting pressure on Patrick Mahomes. So they need to convert on these. They need to give the ball to Pacheco. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. What are they doing all these trick plays? They do it so much now that the Lions have caught up. And not just the Lions, every team now when they play the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to catch up and they're going to sniff these trick plays out. And they just didn't work. And I just don't know why you don't take the ball out of your best player's hands, especially when you don't have Kelce on offense. And it was evident that offense struggled with putting points up, putting together long drives. They only had first downs. Let me see. They only had 17 first downs compared to 20 to the Lions. Lions were able to move the ball. Montgomery rushed the ball really well. Reynolds actually had a good game, 4 catches for 80 yards. But outside of that, I don't think the Lions really did enough to win the game. I thought the Chiefs lost the game with the short yard. They didn't know, and not even just the trick plays. They didn't even know what to do on short yardage. They would get a false start penalty. They didn't call the right plays, I thought, on short yardage. And that's very rare to see from an Andy Reid team. But going back to the drawing board and
maybe, I'm gonna just throw this out there. Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs will miss Eric Bieniemy more than we thought. Because maybe Eric Bieniemy, runs it up the middle instead of doing a trick play. Who knows? Maybe he'd be like, "Nah, Big Red, we're going to do this instead of that." I'm just saying, maybe Eric Bieniemy had a little more control over the offense than Matt Nagy does at the moment.
You don't like Matt Nagy?
I'm not saying I don't like him. All I'm saying is Eric Bieniemy is the better offensive coordinator between 100%. The two. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree on that. And you're right. Maybe they will miss it. And it's the first game, and now they got to go next week on a tough game at Jacksonville. So
possibly without Travis Kelce again.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be without Chris Jones because it doesn't look like from the reports before the game, it doesn't look like they're close to a contract extension.
From the reports, it sounds like he's ready to sit out to week 8.
He has enough money.
Yeah,
he could do it. So, yeah, tough win, but a tough loss for the Chiefs at home. I go 1-5. David Montgomery's the only one that cashes. It was just bad. I had the right reads, over 2.5 touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns. He just, like you said, the connection. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes. It was his receivers.
It just, you lose confidence in your receivers when you 3 drop passes though in a half. That's just terrible.
I also want to say on the other side for Dan Campbell, what's with not playing Jahad Gibbs a lot? Like, I get it. Montgomery's a good running back, but Jahad Gibbs, he was explosive when he got into the game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. The only thing I'm just throwing out a theory. Like I said, I don't know for sure. I'm not with the Lions organization. The only thing I could sum up, maybe the moment they didn't want to risk it, throwing the rookie out there in opening night against the defending champs. Maybe he's like, maybe the lights might be too bright to give him the same amount of touches David Montgomery. David Montgomery been there, done that. So week 1, I'd rather have somebody out there that's ready for the moment versus the defending Super Bowl champs than Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs looked great. Nothing bad against him.
He should have had a touchdown. He slipped in the red zone.
Exactly, Dill. It's just, that's the only thing I could think of that, like, hey, it's opening day. We at Kansas City. Let's just go with the veteran now and just sprinkle Jahmyr Gibbs. And maybe when we're back in Detroit, he'll get most of the snaps. Make him feel comfortable. The crowd will be behind him. Stuff like that, Dill. It's just, that's a huge stage to go out there and start week 1.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I also thought Noah Gray looked pretty good replacing Travis Kelce.
He looked great.
He should have got the ball more.
Yeah, shit. To me, he might be a tradable asset. He had himself a day.
Yeah, I mean there was some good spots for the Chiefs, but overall it just they didn't do enough to win the game at home. And apparently after the game, Patrick Mahomes was furious. Like he thought they should have won the game.
He should have won the game, Dill. He personally couldn't do anything better to win the game. He threw the ball where he needed to throw. The interception wasn't his fault. He led the team in rushing. What more do you want Patrick to do, people? I just don't understand it. This loss doesn't go on Patrick Mahomes. It goes on the defense and a little bit on Andy Reid and
Kadarius Toney.
Brian Nagy. Just because
it is Matt Nagy. Brian Nagy's the kid we played with.
Yeah, my fact. Matt Nagy I'm gonna give them 51% of the blame just because on those trick plays they netted negative yards throughout the game. They did not have one positive yard with those trick plays. So I'm gonna blame it on the coaching staff. If you run a slant, screen, a post, something else other than those trick plays, hey, you maybe extend the drive, maybe you go on and score.
Yeah, I agree too. I think they deserve some blame, but Kadarius Toney cost them.
Yeah, come on.
You know what I mean? They're not even close. And for all the things that we said that Lions did well, Jared Goff played extremely well. They rushed the ball really well, but let's be honest, they only deserved 14 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, not Patrick. I shouldn't say Patrick. Kadarius Toney cost them 7 points. So.
You can make the case 10. You can make the case 10 because that second one when he caught it, like 20 yards on the field. Remember, he's one of the fastest players in the league, Dylan. He could possibly bust that for another 20, 30 yards additional. So
Joe, good call. It's not starting Kadarius Toney in your fantasy. I started McKinnon. He had an opportunity in the red zone and he didn't get it. But you know what?
Let me just say what I went, Dylan, and then we move on.
Yeah.
I ended up going 2-3. David Montgomery anytime touchdown, and then Jahmyr Gibbs, he barely went over, got lucky on it with that 18-yard rush at the 5 minutes left in the game, went over 39.5 rushing. And then Tony fucked me. I took both of his props over. He was a dud. And then Kansas City minus 4.5 was honestly never a shot after Tony dropped those balls.
Yeah, and I was just hoping at that point. I knew they weren't going to cover. I was just hoping they won.
If Kadarius Toney catches those balls, I go 3-2. I go 4-1 if he catches those balls.
We just got to reset fucking Kadarius Toney, man. Elvis, let's get into it. Let's get with these plays. Big MLB card today. Only 3 plays. I tried to stretch it and go out of my norm. Remember on Thursday, you and I hung out. I said, hey, I only got 2 plays. Went 2-0. Yesterday, loved the card. Took 6 plays, went 1-5. See, this is the this is the problem, Elvis.
It's impressive. That's impressive at the end of the day, though.
I love it so much that the reads are actually wrong. So dialing it back again, only 3 plays, but I'll let you lead it off. What do you got, kid?
Dale, I only got 2 plays, so we're going to ping pong these. Dale, let's start at 2:05 in the Bronx. The Milwaukee Brewers taking on the New York Yankees. Dale, guess what? We're just going to keep fading the New York Yankees. Give me Miley on the mound with the Brewers, Dale. Plus 124 on the money line, Dill. Yankees you just got to keep fading them. Dylan kind of put me onto this. You just got to keep fading the Yankees, and I'm going to roll with them. Give me the Brewers on the road, plus 124 on the money line. By the way, the over-under sitting at 9 and also 8.5, so shop around, people.
Yeah, wind's blowing in, and it's like a drizzle over here.
It's a cloudy day. It's not a nice day. Yeah.
No, it shouldn't be. They said the whole weekend should be actually ugly. But yeah, I'm with you. I took the Brewers on the money line, dog of the day, plus 124. Michael King, I guess they deserve to be a short favorite at home, but I'm not sold. They just lost yesterday, 8-2. You know, they lost 2 in a row right now. I think Milwaukee's just a much better team. I like Wade Miley way better. So got the better pitcher. I'm going to take the Brewers right now, plus 124 as my first play. What else you got?
No, you go one more, and then we ping pong the last 2.
All right, give me the should-be Cy Young, Justin Steele in the Chicago Cubs. Short price, 16-3 with a 2.55 ERA. He had 12 punchies last time we backed him. Now he's going up against Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks. Should be a good game. Should be a close one. I got should be the NL Cy Young, in my opinion. I think Spencer Strider lost it in his last blow-up, but strikeouts are cool, but Justin Steele gets a lot of wins. He gets outs, and he's fighting for a playoff spot. Give me the Chicago Cubs minus 140 on the money line at home. What else you got?
Dill, my final play is my favorite play of the day, Dill. Heading to Houston, San Diego Padres taking on the Houston Astros. Over under sitting at 9. Dill, give me the Houston Astros at home, minus 130 on the money line. You got Javier's on the mound. He's having another stellar season. And to be honest, I don't know how the Houston Astros are just minus 130. To me, this should be almost a $2 favorite at home against these bum-ass Padres still. So give me the Houston Astros minus 130. Might put multiple units on it.
Yeah, Padres smoked them, though, last night, 11-2. Maybe it's a little bounce-back spot. Yeah. And then for my final play, I am going out to Tampa. I'm going to take the Rays on the money line. I got it at a minus 115. It's at to minus 125 right now. I still like it. You got a guy who's only making his second start for the Mariners, and I like the Mariners, but Thornton, he's just not better than Aaron Savali right now. Rays, big win over the Mariners last night, 7-4. And Seattle's kind of, after they went on their little hot streak, they've dropped 3 of their last 5 games, while Tampa, they're 6-4 in their last 10 at home. They are a fucking wagon. I think it's a short price. So gonna roll with the Tampa Bay Rays here as my final play. Any other leans or anything I fucking took a chance on the Mets yesterday with Senga. He did his thing. The fucking bullpen, bro. They fucking suck, man. Jesus Christ. But anything else? Baltimore Red Sox got blown out. Oh no, they won. They blew out the Orioles last night.
Yeah, Dill, and they were heavy favorites today, so I ended up staying away. The only other play I really like is what you deal with the Tampa on the money line against the Mariners. Mariners slowly fading, Dill, slowly fading, and Tampa's just been a powerhouse all year.
Yeah, a lot of big spreads today in the MLB, and you know what? Going towards the dog days of September, I would advise, there's only a certain spots and certain teams that are fighting for a playoff. So a lot of teams have kind of checked out. Angels, Pirates, Royals. They're going to be over $2 underdogs in most of these games. So there's only a certain games that you could take advantage of going into October. So I would be cautious. That's why like all the games that I think we've covered are kind of like playoff teams that have something to play for. So I'm glad that we touched on those. Elvis, good luck on the diamond. Hopefully I can bounce back. Before we get to college football, quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry all day Saturday watching UFC, college football, baseball, whatever it is, our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. Oh, I wish I had a Sweet Home Alabama. Key game. Bama taking on Texas in Tuscaloosa. You're the Alabama fan. One, I am surprised you're not touching it. And two, I'm disgusted that you're not touching it, because give me Roll Tide. I'm laying it. Anything under 7, give me Alabama. I know Texas, they're good up front. They got some big boys. That D-line is serious. I respect them. But it's Nick Saban, the greatest college football coach to ever coach. I got to lay it with Alabama. Who the hell would I be not laying it at home with Alabama? Texas, Sarkisian. I like Sark. I think he's the right guy for Texas. He's moving them in the right direction, but I just got a good feeling about this. Give me Roll Tide -7 as my first play. Elvis, why aren't you laying it with your boys?
Still, it's a reason. At the end of the day, you got to go mind over heart. At the end of the day, I love me Alabama. Roll Tide. But still, you got to respect Texas now. Like, don't get me wrong. Do I believe, Bama could win by double digits tonight? Sure. But do I love the play? Am I going to bet it? I'm going to be honest, it wouldn't shock me if Texas make it a field goal game. It wouldn't shock me if it's a field goal game, Dill. I expect this game to be a nice, good, classic college game, Dill. I expect Alabama to do Alabama's things, but I expect Texas in that front to cause havoc. That's the only thing that concerns me. I do like Alabama, but Dill, you got that Texas front put a little fear in my heart. I ain't gonna lie, Dill.
Those boys are big. I'm not gonna lie. I know they played Rice last week, but those boys, they got like a 400-pounder up front. It's gonna be one of the toughest lines.
And Alabama, they love running the ball. If they can't establish a run game against that front, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, it should be an interesting thing. And this is going to be a common game now because they moved over to the SEC, Texas.
Every
we're
year,
going to see this every year now. I love it. I fucking love it. I went 1-0 yesterday. I took Kansas -3, a little Friday night special. They took care of Illinois and won by 11. But I got a bunch of plays, Elvis. How many plays do you have?
Yeah, I think I have 3.
Okay,
3,
rattle them off. What do you got?
Let's start at 12 o'clock, Dill. I'm going to go with Purdue versus Virginia Tech, Dill. Virginia Tech at home. Dill, I ended up taking Purdue last week. They completely shitted the bed. I'm not going to say they shitted the bed, but they disappointed us at home. I expect them to disappoint us again on the road. Give me Virginia Tech -2, minus them on the money line. It don't matter. I took a -126. They're -120 right now. I love the -120. I even like the -2, -2.5.
I love it. My first, besides Bama, give me North Carolina State Wolfpack, baby, +7.5 against Notre Dame.
I love it.
I know everyone's high on Sam Howell, this, that, and the third. He's going to be invited to the Heisman. Yeah, boo-hoo. The Wolfpack it's a tough place to come play in Raleigh. It's going to be raining over there. I think it's going to be a tough environment. I think they're live as well. I think they could upset Notre Dame. Give me the Wolfpack plus 7.5 as my first play. What else you got? Or second?
Still, my last play of the day. Still. No, I'm lying. Second last play. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I read it wrong. 12 o'clock start. We're going to go to Boulder, Colorado. Nebraska taking on the Colorado Buffaloes. The Buffalo sitting at minus 2.5 on the spread. Minus 135 on the money line. Over under 57.5. Still. Give me prime time in the Buffaloes. Minus 2.5 at home, Dill. Fuck Ja Rule. Matt Rule.
Fuck him too, though.
Yeah, fuck both of them, but fuck Matt Rule. I don't like what he's saying. He's throwing little jabs out there. I don't like that. He had a lot of things to say during the preseason. Got no comments now. Fuck you. Fuck your you're honestly not. Let me retract that.
I like the Cornhuskers.
Yeah,
though.
I'm not gonna say fuck Nebraska, but fuck Nebraska's football team today.
Today. Boulder, Colorado, prime time. Yeah, I'm on it. I laid the 2.5 as well. Line was Nebraska minus 7. The line has flipped. Give me them. I like Shedeur Sanders over 2.5 passing touchdowns at plus 114 as well. Like you said, Matt Rule had a lot of things to say in the preseason, but then this week, game week, when they asked him about his comments, he had nothing to say. He was quiet. I wonder why. Not a word.
See me? I say shit. I'm standing on it.
You stand it. You live and die.
They're going to be like, you said that? I'm like, yeah, I said that. What about it?
He's not, because he's not like that. Primetime's going to... You think... I don't know if you guys didn't listen to Deion Sanders' speech to the boys before the... not before the game. I think it was yesterday. They were at the 50-yard line, and they said, you think these boys are going to come into our home and win? He said, I don't know where you guys were born, but no man is going to come into our home and win, let alone compete and fight for what you... I wanted to run through a wall for Deion, man. This guy has moxie. They're going to win by 40. They're going to blow Nebraska out. Nebraska could barely score against Minnesota. Minnesota's okay, but they could barely score. And I'm not saying Colorado has the best defense because they got some holes on defense, but offense, I just don't think they could compete with Colorado. So give me Colorado minus 2.5, and I also take Shedeur Sanders over 2.5 passing touchdowns at plus 114. What's your last play?
Still, my last play. We're going to go to Oklahoma. SMU taking on the Oklahoma Sooners. Still, I'm laying it. Give me Oklahoma minus 16 at home, Dill. I understand you saying wow, people. You saying wow this, wow. Oklahoma's just like that. The fact that they're ranked 20th, to me, that's still disrespectful. They should be a little lower, Dylan. But they're going to work their way. I almost said we. They're going to work their way up to the top, Dill. Give me Oklahoma minus 16. It's at 16.5. Lay the 16.5. Don't matter.
I like the over for the game. I think there's going to be
68.5.
Yeah, yo, they got over it by themselves last week.
I know. That's why I took the minus 69 because they're offensive checking out.
And Brett Venables, ex-defensive coordinator, now head coach for the Sooners. Excuse me. He's the type of quarterback that's not going to take his foot off the gas. He's going to put it down your throat, pause until you can't even fight back at a point. So I like the over for the game. I didn't want to lay the 16.5, but I appreciate the confidence. I'm just going to rattle them off. I got about 10 plays. Give me Baylor plus 8. Cam Rising is not playing for Utah. Baylor, literally the worst performance last week, losing outright to Texas State. I think this is a nice bounce back spot. Plus 8 at home against a backup quarterback. I love it. Texas A&M laying the 3.5 against the U. I love this new offense for the Aggies. I think on the road, Miami looked okay, but I like A&M a little more. I think there's going to be points. I took the over 51 in that game as well. Give me Tulane plus 7.5 against Mississippi State and Lane Kiffin. Let's not forget, this Tulane team beat USC and Caleb Williams in the bowl game last season. So this Tulane team is good. getting over a touchdown. I like that at home. This is going to be a pesky team this season, plus 7.5. The Battle of Iowa. Give me Iowa laying 3.5 on the road against Iowa State. I remember Iowa State, I think they have 7 or 8 guys suspended for the gambling aspect. Give me Iowa. I think their offense. Oh, you also got to take the unders in these Iowa games. I know it's low at like 30-something. Maybe you tease it up to 40-something. But, yeah, Iowa laying to 3.5 on the road. Give me UNLV plus 37.5 against Michigan. Michigan couldn't cover last week against East Carolina. Like I said, they take the foot off the gas. 30, and now it went up. I know UNLV ain't good, but 37.5 is OD. I got to take the points there. Give me Cincinnati Bearcats, baby, on the road against Pitt. Should be a really good game. It's kind of like a rival. The Cincinnati Bearcats haven't been this big of an underdog since when, Elvis?
2017.
2021 when it was the playoff game against Bama in the playoff series when they had Sauce. This is too big of a number. Pitt is good at home, but I like the Bearcats plus 7.5. Like I said, I like Bama at home laying 7. And my last play, give me Washington State at home against Wisconsin plus 6.5. You know, this is elevation, and this is a dedication to RIP, one of the great Mike Leach. This is a Mike Leach game. The boys are not going to lose at home for Mike Leach. I will guarantee you that. Tough place to play. This is the first time a Power 5 team has come and played at Washington since 1999. It's forever. They don't want to play there. Wisconsin, you don't know what you got. Give me Washington State plus 6.5, and I think they're live outright as well, baby. Let's fucking go. Elvis, I'm fucking riled up for this for this weekend.
I love the energy for the plus 6.5 for Washington. I love it. And I'll be honest, though, I like the Cincinnati play. I almost took that as well.
Yeah, Cincinnati, I think that's just a little too much, man. Just a little too much. But Elvis, good luck. We had a good college slate or college record last weekend. Let's continue it. But this is the week. This is what we've all been waiting for. Week 1. Let's get into it. Week 1 NFL plays. We will start in the Rust Belt in Pittsburgh. The Steelers hosting the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers laying 2.5 on the road. On the money line, minus 134. Over under is at 41.5. Elvis, I will start with you. What do you like, kid?
Still, to be honest, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think this is a tough matchup for the 49ers on the road week 1. To go to Pittsburgh, there's a reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers are just a plus 2.5. Still, this is a tough one. I ended up teasing the Pittsburgh Steelers up. You know, I just don't get me wrong. I do see the 49ers able to win this game, but I don't see them be able to beat this team by a touchdown. I just don't see it. I love Mike Tomlin. I think Pittsburgh's going to be a little better than they were last year. I love how they finished the end of last season. They're going to come into week 1 healthy. The secondary's healthy. That front seven is going to be healthy, I ended up teasing Pittsburgh up, I ended up teasing Pittsburgh up to plus 8.5, and it wouldn't shock me. I think Pittsburgh Steelers are live dogs week 1.
I love it. I'm staying away from this game. It does worry me that everyone is on the Steelers. I get it. Mike Tomlin, 14-3-3 ATS as a home dog or 7 points or less. Shanahan, awful week 1, 1-5 ATS. Lost outright last season in week 1 to the Bears. I'm going to go prop, though. I like a prop. I like George Pickens over 34.5 receiving yards. It's up to 41.5. I still like it over that as well. If it gets around 47, 50, I could kind of stay away. But Pickens, he went over this number 6 of 10 games last season when Pickett threw at least 20 throws or more. He's the number 1 deep threat on this team. No more Claypool for them. And I think the Steelers might be playing from behind, so forcing them to throw the ball. I think George Pickens actually has a good game. So I'm going to go his over in receiving yards for the week 1. Don't mind the minus 134 on the money line for it, but I understand this is a good teaser spot for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Get them up to 8.5. Let's go out to the second game. In Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Atlanta Falcons hosting the Carolina Panthers. Falcons laying 3.5 at home. Over under is at 39.5. Elvis, what do you like here?
Still, sometimes the best bet is no bet, people. This is a matchup where I got to see these two teams perform. So I'm gonna definitely tune into this game, see both of these offenses, see both of these defenses, and have an opinion moving forward. Though, but to week one, I got to see more Desmond Ritter, and I got to see how Bryce Young looks in that offense. Still, I know what to expect a little bit from Carolina's defense. It's pretty good. I know what to expect from the running game. It's just I don't know what we're gonna get out of Atlanta. Still, offensively, I understand they got B.J. Robinson, they got Kyle Pitts, they got Drake London. It's just, can Desmond Ritter be that guy? Can he be successful, Dylan? That's my question. I do like Atlanta because I just feel like it's gonna be a tough task for Bryce Young to walk into Atlanta and go win a road game week one. I do like Atlanta in this scenario, people, but I'm not gonna advise anybody to bet on Atlanta after I personally haven't seen them play.
Yeah, I agree. Falcons are the right side, I think.
They should be.
They should win this game, but I hate taking divisional favorites in the first week, especially when I haven't seen it, to your point. The Falcons, in my opinion, have the more complete team, while we know what the Carolina they're trying to build there. Adam Thielen's questionable, and if Adam Thielen doesn't play, I mean, who does Bryce Young really have? I just don't think the Panthers have enough firepower to compete with the Falcons, in my opinion. So I'm like you. I stayed away. I do lean the Falcons, but should be a good game. Falcons should win this game in our opinion. But yeah, gonna stay away from that one. Let's go out to the bank. Baltimore Ravens hosting the Houston Texans. Ravens laying 10 at home. Over under is at 43.5. Elvis, you laying double digits week one?
Dill, this is part of my two-way teasers. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. Tease them down to -3.5 still. So I ended up taking the Pittsburgh Steelers with the Baltimore Ravens. 6-point two-way teaser at -134, people. Don't get me wrong. I expect the Baltimore Ravens to handle business at home versus, C.J. Stroud and the rookie. But dude, would I be shocked if somehow Texas backdoor cover the 10 points? No, I wouldn't be, Dill. So I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to get that guaranteed, Dill. Give me Baltimore. Tease them down to -3.5, Dill. Then I have my first player prop of the season, Dill. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again, people. Put it in right now. Lamar Jackson for MVP at +1,800, people. Give me Lamar Jackson over 225.5 passing yards. I think this number is too low. He has his best offensive repertoire in his career, and this man already won an MVP. Got a healthy backfield for the first time in 2 years. He has Odell Beckham, Zay Jones, Mark Andrews, and Rarice Bateman back. The healthiest and best wide receiver core he ever had in his career, and he's going to have the healthiest backfield he had in his career. Give me Lamar Jackson over 225 passing yards, and give me Lamar Jackson to win the MVP.
By the way, I want to backtrack real quick. I also put Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown at even money. I think Christian McCaffrey gets in the end zone. I thought that was good value. Yeah, like you said, I took the Ravens in a bunch of teasers. I'll say my teasers at the end because there's like 4 or 5 leggers. But yeah, I think Ravens are a good teaser spot. I don't want to lay the big number just because I expect them to have a great offense in a good year. The brand new offense, though, brand new offensive coordinator, which I do like. He's the offensive coordinator from Georgia coming on over to the NFL. But it might take a quarter or two to get going. So I have to see it before I lay 10. 10 is huge. So yeah, they're begging us to take the Texans. So I like the Ravens right now. I'll let you know my teasers once we get towards the end. But yeah, Ravens are in a bunch of my teasers as well. Ooh, let's get to a good game. Cleveland Browns hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals should be a kind of round to pick them. Bengals laying 1.5 at home. If you want to take the Bengals on the money line, -130, +110 for the home dog. The Brownies over unders at 47.5. You got Jamar Chase saying the Browns are the Browns, A lot of back and forth. They don't like each other. Who do you like?
Still, give me the Cincinnati Bengals on the road, -130 on the money line. Still, I like the Browns this upcoming season. I just like Cincinnati a little more, though. I think Cincinnati's the better team. Joe Burrow just got paid. He's going to show the front office what the investment got him. He's gonna go out, show out. T. Higgins is gonna go out there and play. He's playing for a new contract deal. I expect these boys to go out and perform at an all-time level deal. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals on the road to take care of business. Minus 130 on the money line. I even laid it too, Dill. I do believe the Browns are going to be very good this season. I just feel it's going to take a few weeks to get that offensive rolling.
Yeah, this is a stay away game. Like you were saying, how you want to learn a little from the Carolina Panthers. This is what I want to learn in this game. I get it. If anything, I honestly would have taken the Browns at home plus 110. I do lean that way. I think defensively they're a much better team than the Bengals. I think they'll be able to limit. I think they'd have a better shot at home, especially limiting the Bengals offense as opposed to the Bengals limiting the Browns offense. That's how I see the game. Should be a close game. The books are telling you it should be a close game, but I eventually I didn't get to the window with anything here. Maybe lean under as well.
I also have a player prop in this one, Dill. I think this number is too short. Give me Nick Chubb over 76.5 rushing yards still. I think this number is too short. I think Nick Chubb could go easy for about 90, maybe even 100 and something on that defense still. I know the Browns are going to be a run-first team. They got one of the best running backs in football. They have arguably the best offensive line in football. And I just feel like they're going to slowly work in Deshaun Jackson, get him in rhythm, and establish the running game early. Give me Nick Chubb over 76.5 rushing yards. I feel like this number is too low, people.
Yeah, I agree. I think they are a rush team first. And they do, especially with Stefanski, they want to establish the run to set up the play action. Let's go on over to Minnesota. Vikings hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Vikings laying 5.5 at home. Over under is at 46. I'll start this one. I'm laying it. I'll lay the 5.5 with the Vikings. Basically, the line is telling you the Vikings would only be a 2.5 favorite in Tampa on a home field flip. Less than a field goal? Yeah, no thanks. I don't trust Bowles as a head coach, and I think they have major issues on defense, especially their front seven or front eight, and I don't trust a quarterback in Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. Yeah, I like Chris Godwin and I like Mike Evans, but Mike Evans didn't get paid. You know, I don't know how that relationship is going to go. He said he will play, but I just don't think the Vikings are a much better team. They've upgraded defense a little bit. I think they have a better quarterback in Kirk Cousins. The weapons, they speak for themselves. I'm not going to overthink this one. I laid the 5.5 with the Vikings, and I also took them in a bunch of teasers that I'll say in a little. But what do you got for this game?
Dill, I'm with you. I ended up taking the -6 early on, so I smashed the -5.5. Give me the Minnesota at home -5.5. I just feel like this is going to be too much of a game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember, this team was under 500 last year with Tom Brady, and you expect this team with Baker Mayfield walk into Minnesota and go out there and win the game? Absolutely not, Dill. Give me Minnesota -5.5. I'm gonna be honest, I might have to sprinkle something on Minnesota -9.5 on point spread, Dill.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout, to be honest. Let's go out to Washington. The Redskins are hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Redskins laying 7 at home. Over under is at 38.5. You thought I was crazy laying it with them. Give me the 7. Give me -7 with the Redskins. I put them in a bunch of teasers. I think it's actually a much better teaser spot, but. Yeah, I took the Redskins in a bunch of teasers. I also like them first half -3.5 as well. I think Sam Howell, this new offense with all their weapons, I think they're going to take care of business against a Cardinal team that has no quarterback. Zach Ertz might not play. Their defense is terrible. I just can't see the Cardinals being competitive at all. Give me the Redskins first half -3.5. That is the official play, and I have them in a bunch of teasers as well. What do you got?
Dill, I'm with you. I'm not gonna lay the 7, Dill. I ended up putting them in a teaser, but I agree with everything you said. I do expect Washington to take care of business at home versus the Arizona Cardinals. I just honestly don't know what to expect from Arizona's offense, but possibly a James Conner touchdown. So if anything, I lean anytime touchdown, James Conner. But Dill, I'm with you. I ended up teasing down the Washington Commanders just to play it safe. Dill, I expect them to cover the 7, but like I said, it's week 1. I gotta see it to believe it. I do expect the Yeah, I do expect the Redskins to go out there and take care of business. But it's week one, people. I'm trying to win money. I'm trying to give out free money. I ended up teasing them down to -1.
Let's go. Let's go out to the Dome in the Bayou in New Orleans. Saints laying 3 at home. The Titans +3 on the road. If you want to take the Saints on the money line, -158, +134 for the Titans. Over under is at 41.5. Elvis, should be a good game here, I think. Tough one to come down on, but what do you got here?
Still, this is another one. I like the Saints, so even on the -3, people. But I ended up playing it safe, people. This is my two-way teaser with the Washington Redskins still. Give me the New Orleans Saints, tease them up to +3 with the Washington Redskins. So Redskins -1, and then New Orleans +3. I just flat out think New Orleans is a better team between the two. I think Derek Carr being that quarterback, having a steady quarterback, knowing week in, week out what he's gonna do. Still, give me the Saints on the money line -155, -3, teasing it to play it safe deal, and I expect a huge season from Derek Carr and Chris Olave. With that being said, Saints +3 on the teaser, and then give me Chris Olave over 67.5 receiving yards. This man averaged 61 receiving yards last season with Taysom Hill, Kyle Trask, and Andy Dalton. He's going to average about 70-something with Derek Carr at the helm. Give me Chris Olave over 65.5 receiving.
Yeah, another game where I have the Titans in a bunch of my teasers, but gun to my head, I do lean Titans +3. I get it. Titans, they're a public dog, but
at New Orleans, though, Dill?
In Vrabel, we trust. He's 21-19 straight up as a dog, but ATS 22-8 and 1 over 74% ATS as a dog of 3 or more points. I wish I got 3.5, but then it would be official play. If I got to 3.5, I'd take the Titans there. But a gun to my head, I do lean Titans. I think they're going to be a lot more competitive than people think. I took a prop. I like Jamal Williams over 14.5 rushing attempts. First 3 games, they're going to be without Alvin Kamara, and this guy's going to be very productive. Saints, they're a passing team, but the number is just too low. I think early on, the Saints are going to want to run the ball, try to set a tone. We saw it on a Thursday night where the Lions just flat out ran the ball. It didn't even matter if they were 2nd and 8. They were going to run the ball. I think over 14.5 attempts is a short number. I think they could get over this in the first half. So I like Jamal Williams over 14.5 rushing attempts. But yeah, I'll let you know my teasers in a little. But let's go out to New Orleans. Not New Orleans, excuse me, Indianapolis. The Colts are hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars 4.5-point favorites on the road. Over under is at 46.5. You taking the dogs here?
No, Dill. I ended up laying the -3.5 with Jacksonville early. You said is that what 4.5 now?
Yeah, it's at 4.5.
I still lay the 4.5. Dill. I just don't expect the Colts to be a very good team early on. Remember, no Jonathan Taylor. You're going to ask a lot from Anthony Richardson. Not saying he can't be that guy. I just don't expect him to be that guy come tomorrow, So I do like what Indianapolis is doing moving forward, though. But to go up, to be at home versus the damn Jaguars with a rookie quarterback, no Jonathan Taylor, I think it's a tough task, still. I think it might get brutal out there. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars -3.5, -4.5. I'm going to be honest. You might have to put a sprinkle at -9.5.
I'm trying. Yeah, so this is the problem why I didn't lean it or didn't take it. Jags have trouble playing in Indianapolis. I also think Trevor, I like the prop. I'll say this real quick. Trevor Lawrence rushing prop, 11.5 yards seems a bit small. I do think Lawrence will scramble a few yards, maybe 5-6 yards a pop. I'd go over his rushing prop, Trevor Lawrence. But the reason I was looking up while you were talking, I was looking up the record because I saw it somewhere. Jacksonville Jaguar, the Indianapolis Colts lead the series in Indianapolis. And yeah, a lot of it was with Peyton Manning, but Jaguars just have trouble going on the road, especially in Indianapolis. Indianapolis leads the series 27-14. They have a tough time going to Indianapolis and playing. So I stayed away from the side, but I do like Trevor
It's,
Lawrence.
it's different times now, Dill. Different times.
Yeah, I guess. Let's go to Gillette Stadium. Patriots hosting the Eagles. Eagles laying 4 on the road, over under at 45. You guys are celebrating Tom Brady. I guess he's going in the Ring of Honor or retiring his number, doing something. He's being celebrated tomorrow. Are you laying it with the Eagles, or are you taking your boys?
Dill, gotta go with the Patriots plus the 4, Dill. I ended up teasing them up to plus 10, so I'll give you the teaser at the end of the day, Dill. But I like the Patriots, Dill. And to be honest, I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're going to go out there and upset the Eagles. I'm not saying that, but I think we can make it a close game. I think Bill Belichick could possibly, cause some havoc for that Eagles offense, throw Jalen Hurts some coverages he never seen. Bill Belichick always dice them up, and I expect the running game to not be the number one running game in the NFL like it was last season. No Miles Sanders. I don't expect Jalen Hurts to run the ball a lot like that. I like Swift. I like Gainwell, but I just don't see the running game to be as dominant as they were last season. And then I feel like our secondary, I think we'd be able to not hold them off, but at least hold off some of the firepower that Devontae Smith and AJ Brown could honestly do damage in, Dill. So give me the Patriots plus 4. I ended up teasing them plus 10, Dill, but I think it's gonna be a close one. I think this is a field goal game, and I'm gonna be honest, it might be you have to sprinkle a little bit on the dogs, Dill. Like I said earlier in the futures, I expect this offense to be much better with Bill O'Brien. I'm not saying Bill O'Brien is a savior or he's a godsend. All I'm saying is Bill O'Brien is 5 times better the coordinator than we had last season, and that's a fact.
Yeah, nothing in this game for me. I lean the Eagles minus the 4, but I'm not confident. Like I said, he's getting Tom Brady will be in that house, so they should be pumped up. Ramar Stevenson is questionable. They think he's a game time decision.
Our whole lineup is questionable. That's how Bill Belichick is.
I don't know. I just think the Eagles all around are just a much more complete team. I honestly think it could be a blowout, to be honest. So I stayed away. 4 seems a little short, though. Let's go out to Denver, Mile High City. Denver Broncos laying 3.5 with the new Sean Payton coach. Las Vegas Raiders plus 3.5 on the road. Over under is at 43. What do you got for this one?
Dale, early on, I like the Las Vegas Raiders on the road. Plus 4 versus Denver I said Nuggets. Wow, Denver Broncos. Though, but I don't know if you heard though. Recent story came out. Chandler Jones ain't really too happy what's going on. He's not allowed in team facilities, stuff like that. So I think it's a lot of turmoil. I think Chandler is one of the honestly, he might be the best defensive player on that side with the Raiders. So if he's not going to be on the field, Dill, maybe the Broncos could possibly do some damage, Dill. I ended up taking the Raiders plus 4 just because I expect Jimmy G and Josh Jacobs to do something. It's just the question mark is how Russell Wilson's gonna look, Dill. We saw how he looked last season. Is he gonna look better with Sean Payton? I expect him to look better. I just feel like it's gonna take a couple of weeks to get back in that form. Give me the Raiders on the road plus 4.
Oh my God, that's such an ugly play.
Wait, so you're laying the 4?
I'm not touching the game at all. I want nothing to do with this game. I'd rather watch. This is another one where I just want to watch, see what both of these teams are like actually made of before I put any of my hard-earned money on either of these teams. You're right. Question mark is Russ. How's he going to look with Sean Payton? Sean Payton was not happy with him the other day. He goes, you're not fucking running for office. He goes, quit with this Russell Inc. shit and kissing babies on the forehead. And I agree. I'm not the biggest Sean Payton fan, but I agree. You got to stop with that whole Russell thing and focus on the team. I don't know how he's going to look. Jerry Jeudy's questionable. He has that hamstring injury. I don't know how that offense is going to look. Raiders are just so bad. Like, the Broncos should go at home. They should win this game. But the Raiders, I mean, the Raiders are so bad too. The whole Chandler Jones thing. Is he going to play? How's Jimmy G going to look? I don't know how Josh Jacobs is going to look. There's just so many question marks on both sides that I want absolutely nothing to do with this game. So going to be a stay away from me. Let's go out to the 6-man Seattle Seahawks hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Seahawks laying 4.5 at home. Over under is at 45. Like I said the other day, Cooper Kupp is out. And now they're thinking about putting him on the IR. It doesn't matter. Give me the Seahawks laying the 4.5. Jamal Adams and Witherspoon is out. That doesn't matter to me. Rams offense just doesn't scare me in the slightest. No Cup this week. They have a good coach. I like Sean McVay. I like Matt Stafford. I still think he could play, but who's he really have to throw besides Tutu Atwell? Van Jefferson? Higbee?
Higby's solid. He's solid.
He's okay. He's about bottom half to me. The Seahawks, they have a ton of weapons, and I like the upgrades they made on defense on both sides of the ball. I think they win this game easy. I think this is going to be a blowout. Give me the 4.5. I'll lay it with the Seahawks, and I also took DK Metcalf anytime touchdown score at plus 135.
Dill, I like that. Dill, I'm with you. Give me the Seattle Seahawks minus 4.5 at home. I just don't see this offense able to keep up with Seattle's without Cooper Kupp. Though I just don't see it. Like everything you said, I do like Tyler. I'm a little bigger fan of Tyler Higbee than you, but it's not like he's a game changer, So I just don't see them able to put up a ton of points, especially with the 12th man in Seattle. Dill, I just don't see it without Cooper Kupp. Dill, give me Geno Smith and I'm gonna be honest, that's one of the best wide receiving cores in football. Give me Geno Smith and the boys minus 4.5. And then I forget they're gonna have a two-headed running game as well, Dill. So this is gonna be a complete team. We already know what to expect from the defensive side of the ball with Pete Carroll, Geno Smith. If he's anything like he was last season, watch out.
Watch out. And not Kenneth Gainwell. You got me saying that. Kenneth Walker II, he is activated. He's good to go. So two-headed monster in the backfield. 3 games left. Let's go out to Soldier Field. The Bears hosting the Green Bay Packers. Bears minus 1.5 at home, minus 126 on the money line, plus 108 on the other side for the Packers. Over under is at 41.5. Bad news for you. Christian Watson, their best receiver, is out today with a hamstring injury. Romeo Doubs, he's questionable. They said he's going to try to give it a go. He's going to be a game time decision. I've been on the Bears money line since our team preview. You know that. I don't care about the game time. Romeo Doubs, it doesn't matter. Justin Fields is going to have a day on this defense. At home, they got to set the tone for this season. They have the weapons. They have a good run game. I think they have a good enough defense to limit and cause some problems for Jordan Love. Give me the Bears minus 1.5, and I also took them on the money line.
Dill, you're right. It kind of did worry me some that Christian Watson is out for the game, and Romeo Doubs is a huge question mark, Dill. With that being said, give me the Green Bay Packers on the road, plus 108 on the money line. I have faith in this kid, Jordan Love. I feel like he sat back for the last 2 seasons behind Aaron Rodgers, learned some good things, probably learned some bad things as well. But the defense, better defense. Running game, better running game. Coaching, better coaching. I just feel like the Packers is the overall better team. Yeah, Justin Fields might be a little better as a quarterback right now, but I'm going to go with the better team. Give me the Green Bay Packers plus 108 on the money line as my dog of the day.
I love it. Let's go out to SoFi. The Chargers hosting the Miami Dolphins. Chargers laying 3 at home, minus 162 on the money line, plus 136 for the Fins. Over under is set at 50.5. Tough break for the Dolphins. Left tackle Armstead is out, so a little protection issue for the Chargers. This one was another stay away game for me. Dolphins. Wow. Dolphins are a little banged up. Like I said, Armstead is out. Could hurt their protection for Tua. I do think the Chargers are the right side, but their head coach Staley is just a head scratcher sometimes for me. And I do think sometimes he gets in his own way and he tries to be the smartest man in the room sometimes when he doesn't need to be. I like Kellen Moore. I think the offense is going to be a more electric this season with him at the OC position, but I don't know. Dolphins have a good defense. Even without Ramsey, they could cause some havoc for Herbert. Should be a really good game. I'm just excited to watch the game. But gun to my head, I would lean towards the Chargers at home. But I think it's a good teaser spot again.
Jill, I'm shocked that you're not with the Chargers, just because I don't know how much you like Justin Herbert, and me and you both love Kellen Moore. So I'm just shocked that you're not rolling with them week 1. But I do agree with you. It is going to be a tough game against Miami. With that being said, people, I ended up playing it safe, though. I agree with you a lot, Dill. I ended up playing it safe. I ended up teasing the Chargers up to +3 at home. I do think Miami can make it interesting, Dill. It's just, you know, the secondary. You just have Xavier Howard back there. He's still one of the best, but with a healthy Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, I still think they can hurt you, Dill. You still got also Eckler, who runs it and catches out the backfield. With Kellen Moore, I think they're going to be an explosive offense this year. Yeah. I want to see it first. I know what to expect from Miami. That's why I ended up teasing the Chargers up to +3 people. So that's my last two-way teaser of the day. I -134. Tease the Chargers up to +3 with the New England Patriots to +10.
And we end it at Sunday Night Football at MetLife Stadium here in New Jersey, where the Cowboys are on the road taking on the New York Giants. Cowboys road favorites -3.5, -180 on the money line, +152 for the home puppy. New York Giants over under is at 45.5. Another no action for me in this game either. I do lean the Cowboys 3.5, but you know, the more I was looking into this game and trying to find something, because there's a lot of games that I stayed away from, but I like Daniel Jones passing prop. It's sitting at 206.5, and I just think that's incredibly short. I took the over on that. I know I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones fan, but and the Cowboys do have a good defense, but 206 is crazy. Darren Waller should have a big game. Barkley, he's healthy out of the backfield. He could catch it. And they got Slayton, who I really like. He's healthy this season. So in the two games that he played against the Cowboys last season, Daniel Jones for 228 yards and 196 with essentially backup wide receivers. Now he has legit weapons. I think he's going to have a big game at home. I don't know if they win, but I do think he throws in that area 215, maybe 230 passing yards. 206 just was too short for me. I think Daniel Jones is better than that. So that's my official play. I'm going to take Daniel Jones over 206 half passing yards. Gun to my head, I lean Cowboys -3.5.
Real quick, people, I just want to say I'm shocked. The fact that Dylan, not over the plays though, but the fact that the words out your mouth said Daniel Jones is a little better than that. I'm just shocked that you said that.
I've come a long way.
Yeah, Dylan has come a long way. Because he should have saw, honestly, both of us, because we used to talk crazy about Daniel Jones in our first season. Our second year, he came around a little bit. So I'm just shocked, and I'm glad that you said he's a little better than that, because he is. He is. I agree with that, Dill. I like that play as well. But with that being said, Dill, give me the Dallas Cowboys -3 on the road. I expect this Giants team to be good. We'll get it twisted, but this Dallas Cowboys team, I'm going to just flat out say they're a Super Bowl contender. To me, they're much better than they were last season with the addition of Stephon Gilmore on the opposite side of Trayvon Diggs. Special. Then adding Brandon Cooks alongside with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. Still. Don't get me wrong. Could Dak Prescott still lead the league in interception? Sure, he can, Dill. But this is about Sunday night at MetLife. Dak Prescott has won 10 straight games versus the New York Giants. You could say he has their number, Dill, and I expect that to keep that rolling, Dill. Give me the Dallas Cowboys -3, Dill. And real quick, I have some props that I lean.
Yeah.
I might put on my action come tomorrow, but as of right now, they're just all leans just because it's the first game of the season, people. But when healthy, Sterling Shepard is a dog. Sterling Shepard's over-under receiving yards is only 23.5. I gotta lean the over. My only question, the reason I haven't is he going to start? Is he going to get full snaps? He's going to get 40, 50 offensive snaps. I'm not sure. He should, but I'm not sure about that. If he goes out there and gets 30-plus snaps on offensive side of the ball, he's going to go over this number. 23.5 is just too short. So I'll lean Sterling Shepard over, and I also lean Isaiah Hodgins over 29.5. Remember, during the playoff run, he was one of the number one targets in the playoffs. I know he didn't show up against the Eagles, but against Minnesota, he had himself a day, people. So I feel like he's going to look for a familiar face, Isaiah Hodgins. And I'll be honest, though, Darius Slayton as well. Only 32 receiving yards. I don't understand why all these numbers are that sure. I understand they got Stephon Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs, but the fact that you don't have not one receiver besides Darren Waller to have more than 40 receiving yards is just blasphemy. So I lean all three all three Giants receivers over receiving yards still, just because the number is just simply so low.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I guess the main question I have and that I can't wait to see is who's Trayvon Diggs going to guard? Is he going to travel? I doubt he travels.
I say he plays Slayton and then Gilmore is on Waller.
You can't have a corner on a tight end though.
I understand, Dill, but we both know out of all the offensive weapons on the field besides Saquon, Waller's the one that could hurt you the most. Besides Saquon,
yeah, but you got to put a linebacker or a safety. Or
he's gonna not a linebacker, a safety. Yeah, not a line. He's too fast for a linebacker. Unless you're gonna put like Michael Parsons, but there's no point of. You got to rush the passer, Michael Parsons.
Yeah. I have, like I said, I have a bunch of teasers that I put in. Let me tell you now. So first one, three-legger plus 160, all 6-point teasers. I teased the Steelers up to 8.5, Vikings down to even, and I teased the Titans up to plus 9. That's a plus 160. That's the first one. Second one, another three-legger. I teased the Redskins down to 1, Vikings to even, Ravens down to 3.5. This is a 4-legger plus 260. I teased the 49ers to plus 4, Vikings to 0, or even, Redskins minus 1, and Seahawks plus 1.
That's my favorite one, Dill. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I have a 4-legger, another plus 260, Ravens down to 3.5, Vikings even, Jaguars plus 1.5, Redskins minus 1. And then I think I have one more. Sorry. And then a last one, plus 260, another 4-legger, Seahawks plus 1, Redskins minus 1, Vikings even, and then the Ravens minus 3.5. By the way, I forgot to mention I have a teaser for college football, if I could say it real quick. 4-way teaser plus 260. Colorado plus 3, baby. They're not losing. Alabama down to 1. Boise State plus 9.5, and that Iowa State, I teased the under up to 42.5. So got a lot of teasers out there. That's I think that's how I'm gonna make my money this weekend. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. But Elvis, thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll recap the games, maybe talk a little Sunday night Sunday night football while it's going on, and we got plays for Monday night football that we will be in attendance at. Elvis, any last words, kid?
Dill, let's just have ourselves a good luck to everybody that's gonna be betting tomorrow. Remember, bet smart. Don't
chase.
Don't back your bets as well. Don't double hedge, stuff like that, people. Just let it ride, enjoy, and gamble responsibly.
Great advice. Thank you so much. That's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of Viva Tequila, our sponsor, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll recap the games, give our best bets for Monday Night Football. Please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We go live on YouTube every Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great day betting. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.